Hello and welcome to another episode, and I've got two amazing individuals here. So today's conversation is more about something that the partners don't hear enough, what really moves the needle in the Microsoft ecosystem, the adaptability, the profitability, and what the role of the partner is. So I've got Daphne. Hi Daphne, welcome. And Daphne is the PDM for Microsoft in the Netherlands. And I've got Ahmad Uzair. Ahmad is a Copilot Studio and Power Platform MVP. He's a Microsoft certified trainer. He runs his own consultancy business. So he sits on the partners side as well as enabling the partners side with Impact Era as well. So two amazing individuals, and I have so much of questions that I really want to ask. So this was very spontaneous, Daphne's quick visit, and we thought, okay, let's do this just to get the best out of it. So the first question I would basically ask Daphne, right? Many partners, they feel they're doing everything right, but still aren't prioritized. What's the biggest misunderstanding partners have about how Microsoft actually works with them?
It's a very broad question, and I see also many partners struggling with
Maybe
this.
you could give a quick intro about yourself as well before we start?
For sure.
Yeah.
So my name is Daphne van Vliet. I'm indeed Partner Development Manager for some of our indirect providers in the Netherlands. I'm in the Microsoft ecosystem now for almost 14 years. Okay. I started as a student job while I was studying law, and for 7 years I'm now a partner development manager for many different partner types. So I've worked with adoption and change management partners, big hosters, services partners, partners that are really in niche, and currently I work with our big distributors.
Amazing.
Yeah. And with regards to the question, there are so many things partners feel that they need to do, and of course they need to be customer obsessed. Mm-hmm. But to work together with Microsoft, it's really important to find focus and be in a niche where you're comfortable to be and where you're comfortable to grow. Mm-hmm. And really understand what is going on in the Microsoft field within this niche and go for that. Because as long as you're just running when the customer asks, you will not have the time to find focus, clarity, and a good way to collaborate with Microsoft.
Well, good done, right? Because the focus on the partners. Prior to this, I would say let's say the announcement was made in 2020 or 2021, that gold, silver partners models are going to be moved out, yes. And you're going to be more solution-based partners, yes. Specialization partners, right? And what it really means is not every partner can do everything. They need to know what their strengths are, and they need to have the capability. It could be resource capabilities, expertise capabilities, right? Driving, having many expertise, right? Having more customers as references, which basically makes them a specialist partner in that particular area. Because end of the day, people buy licenses, but they do not see a proper solution. When the renewal comes, have I really used the licenses up to mark? Not really. I think this is a challenge, and this is probably why Microsoft has come as well. Ahmad, don't you think so as well?
Absolutely, and I can totally relate as a partner myself. Like, I can totally relate that initially we would run with any and every requirement that we get, but it's very, very important that we realize that we need to focus on one area. So that's how we narrow down our focus as well into just Power Platform and Dynamics CRM solutions. So we are really just now focusing. Earlier, it was everything. Okay, we get an Azure opportunity, let's grab that. We get some ERP opportunity, let's grab that. So it's like when you have a very wide focus, it's difficult. It's difficult to jump the different boats. But now when you narrow it down, even Microsoft will support you with that, because then now you can actually show, like you already mentioned, and with solution focus, when you're solution focused, then you can build on top of those solutions even better ones, and you can pitch to the customers of having a very specific designated solutions by industries as well. So those vertical, so you can really grab.
Great. So, getting on to another question on, okay, so there's different partner ecosystems. It could be distributors, it could be CSP, the indirect, the direct, tier one, tier twos, and then the VDS team, right? So when it comes to the VDS team, we know that they are directly involved in contacting the customers. So the sales, does it go to the partner or does it go to the VDS team?
Yeah, so first, to clarify, the VDS team is a team that's calling upon signals that they receive. So a customer has downloaded a white paper for, I don't know, a particular solution. And then Microsoft is waiting for the partner to take action. When that does not happen, the VDS team, they will start calling the customer. Microsoft, I think 95% of the business goes through partner. The VDS team doesn't close any deal. So they will qualify the lead and then ask the customer, who is your preferred partner? Who do you work with? And if the customer doesn't have a clear answer, they will propose 3 solution partners. So it's always partner closed.
So you propose 3 solution partners, guys. That's something for you all to understand, right? It's not any partner. Just because you're a Microsoft partner, you're not going to get that qualification. You need to be a solutions partner. And I mean, initially when the solutions partner designations were launched, we saw a lot of distributors and partners, everybody jumping into it, trying to. But now I feel it's slowed down a bit. Why is that?
It's ongoing to keep the solution designation, because every year you have a renewal where you need customer ads, so you need to continue work on that, and you need to continue to drive adoption. So I think the gold partners, or there used to be gold partners that have now a solution designation, they have to keep it and work really hard to keep it, and then they can go even for a specialization. And I think a lot of partners who had like a silver competency or even gold, it's too much effort for them to get the designation, because you really need to focus, like we talked about earlier. You need to understand what are the criteria, how can I grow? Because if you're stable and you're not adding customers, you will not be able to keep your solution designation. So by introducing the solution designations, Microsoft has raised the bar for partnership. And if you like to run for your customer, that's fine, but you will not get the designation. So it's very important for partners to make a decision what they want and go for it. And just to get the designation for marketing reasons, it's maybe not worth it.
I think one thing which I would like to add, like definitely with the solution designations, it's really pushing the partners to actually make those sales and deployments. Otherwise, they will not be able to retain. Like a lot of silver and gold partners are actually not able to get solution designations anymore, because for solution designation you need to have net customer adds, net deployments, and it is always reviewed in the past 12 months performance. So you really need to keep pushing. Otherwise, like Daphne already mentioned, if you're stable, then you will not be able to.
I mean, it's a cycle, right? Like you get the net new customers, and then you need to have the skill, right, as a partner. So once you have a net new customer, which is basically in that old traditional box moving, you sold a license, which is a net new customer. Yes. Then you, as a partner, have the relevant skills. It could be Azure, or it could be infrastructure, digital and app innovation, data and AI, modern work, security, and biz apps. right? These 6 designations. If you are having that particular skill, you know, based on the customer, what solution you'll be able to provide to that customer, understanding the customer need. The moment you do that, that comes to the third point, the customer success, which is driving consumption. So, I mean, it's a very simple framework that Microsoft has brought in, right? You get a net new customer, you have the skills, so it becomes a solution that is given. And it's quite fair for Microsoft to ask that from the partner, of you being a partner, because end of the day, it's customer success that is required for long-term, in order to have that monthly recurring revenue for the partner, as well as to have the LV, not Louis Vuitton, but lifetime value of the customer as well. Amazing, amazing. So, what do you have to say, Daphne, I mean, towards these partners, right? Where is the money today for the partners?
So Microsoft has invested a lot of money in partner incentives and partner programs. So I would say start with getting the basics right. I would even step back even further and decide what is your mission statement, what is the focus that you really want to have, and then understand what are the steps you need to take to get your solution designation or to keep it. And when you have clarity on what you want, then you will divide ownership within your partner organization, like who is responsible for driving programs, who's responsible for finding cross-upsell leads. And when you have defined all the roles in your partner organization, who will go for what, then I'm confident that partners will be able to earn a lot more money, because the program execution is not very simple. There's a lot of requirements, so you need to involve your leadership team, your sales, your operations, pre-sales, probably even the licensing team, the support team. So it's not easy to quickly get that money, but you really need to take a step back, understand what are the current programs and how does your partner organization meet how to attain them.
I mean, it's fun to listen to all of this, but it looks as if you need, as a partner, you need so many variable individuals, so many people to work with. But there are so many partners who don't have so much of resources.
Yeah.
So then, is it the role of the indirect service provider or the distributor to have that support system to give it to their resellers?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, or Impact Era. I think you can also help them with understanding where they are now, where they could be. And indeed, the indirect providers, they have programs to take the partners through several weeks, how to meet the requirements, where to focus on. And I've seen very small partners being very successful with finding the money just by having the right relationships. And to grow these relationships is not that difficult, really, because if you have a customer, which is a managed customer, understand who are your stakeholders, what are they looking for, and then you can create a plan together. And Microsoft has this funding not to keep it in their pocket, they want to spend it. Yeah. So when you take the time to understand what is the program, find your partners like Impact Era or your distributor, how these processes work. I think you can do it on your own, but it's much easier when you have a partner because you know you've already have the experience with how to get this. Go for it, invest in your relationships, and I'm sure it will pay off. Yeah.
No, absolutely on point. And like indirect providers do provide a lot of support when it comes to the programs, how to achieve the solution designations, and even like the marketing activities and those fundings that Microsoft provides. So that's definitely a boost that any partner receives from the index providers as well. So, and one thing which you very rightly said, understanding the customer and having that relationship is very important, because until unless you are on the same page as the customer, you cannot really sync up, and you cannot move forward. So that having that relationship is really important.
What could probably be an internal mistrust of a partner, Daphne? I mean, with Microsoft, even though they might be technically strong, right? What could be kind of like a turnoff?
Not having your hygiene in place. So to get a solution designation, you need to have customer ads, you need to have deployments. And some of the partners are doing a really excellent job on that, but they're not selling the licenses. And then you need to have, we call this partner admin link for Azure or some BizApp solutions, or claiming partner of record. So you can associate yourself to a customer when you're helping the customer, even though you're not selling the licenses. And when you don't have these hygiene practices in place, Microsoft is not aware of you helping the customer, and they can go past you and even introduce other partners. This can hurt a lot of trust. And that's painful, and sometimes it happens. But to set all of this up, yes, it takes time, but it will also give you recognition for the work you're doing. Because at this moment, Microsoft, of course, loves the licensing sales, but Microsoft loves even more the partners that are bringing the customer value. And we see that a lot of customers are working with multiple partners, where only one is the licensing sales partner, and the other are solution area specialists in I don't know what, but it's really worth registering this, because when you're known of being the partner of record on a particular solution, and the account team knows that, then and they're happy with you, they hear positive feedback from the customer, they might even introduce you to other customers.
What is a partner of record for the viewers?
Yeah, so it's partner of record. It's a mechanism to be registered as a partner for a particular customer without the license transaction.
So you can have multiple POS or partner of records for a customer?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you look at particularly for enterprise customers, they want a partner in a particular niche. They don't expect the licensing partner to know everything and do everything. So it's very common to have multiple partners.
So that's where the solutions partner designation, the specialization could come, where partner of record for any particular specialization.
Yes.
You'll have multiple of them.
Yeah, and through this recognition, you also get usage that contributes to attaining a specialization. So it's critical even to be recognized as a specialized partner.
Ahmad, a question for you, because you work hands-on with the customer, especially on Copilot and with Power Platform as well. Where do you see the gap between what the partner has to offer and what the customers are looking for?
Okay, so one thing I would say in the current, like the Copilot area, is the customers have this misconception where everything can become agentic in today's era. Like, no, not everything can become agentic. We should definitely, like we were discussing the other day as well, we should have a session where we should educate how we should not use agents, or where should we not use agents, because a lot of the things where like a lot of CEOs, they come in, or the directors, they come in, I want to make this agentic, but that process is just simple automation. It doesn't require any AI even.
They just need a chatbot,
They
probably.
they just probably need a chatbot with some logic into it, right? So a lot of people are confusing like simple automation with AI or agentic AI. So that's where sometimes you need to do a bit of consulting and educate them that this is
It's
what it
awareness,
is.
right? What
Yeah.
is it needed? Where you can use it? How you cannot
Exactly.
use it? Or why
Exactly.
so I think definitely we were talking on our way as well, more on the ethics component. That conversation needs to come, which we do not take, or it's just a tick in the box for today, right? The conversation. I'm going to come into the agentic conversation a bit later, but before that, I'm also looking at the adoption piece. I think we are still very, very far behind when it comes to adoption, right? It's like just knowing to use a prompt or two doesn't make you it doesn't make you a person who has adapted to it. And every day we see so much, especially on the productivity suite when you look at it, right? There's so much of changes, so much of developments that's coming up as well. I believe the percentage of adoption was about, I think, very small percentage, very, very small. I don't know if you all saw the image with these check boxes, and we are still on the first row while there's about 20-25 rows, right? So what is it? What do you have to say for the end users or the organizations? Definitely you first, especially on the Copilot adoption.
I have a lot to say. But before we go to the customers, I think it's critical for partners to start using it themselves. I see a lot of partners that are selling Copilot, and only a few people have the license themselves. So at this point, I believe in the modern work solution designation, there is 20 internal use licenses for Copilot. So if you have a designation, I strongly suggest start using it, because otherwise it's becoming, it's very difficult to sell. And then if a partner is selling Copilot and they don't have an adoption practice, that's okay. There are other partners that have solutions. There are scalable solutions. Maybe build a solution yourself. There's a high demand for adoption and change management solutions. But they can, of course, also talk to you. I know you are also working with Let's Copilot, which helps customers without you being on the floor all the time. So adoption is super critical, because otherwise the customer will not experience the value and they will just use Copilot as a replacement for Google. Mm. And that's not what we want. We want customers to ask questions to the Copilot that are not questions you can ask Google. So as an example, just to prep this conversation, I asked Copilot, what should I talk about? What shouldn't I talk about? What should I forget? I cannot ask Google that. So to really tailor the use of Copilot to scenarios that are, only AI use scenarios, and make a customer comfortable to try it and get it in their system and really understand for them as a person what the return of investment is. Like, if I could spend more time with my family, that's a really good use case, I think. So make it personal and really help the customer experience the value and bring it from a personal perspective if you can. Or maybe work with tooling if you don't have a solution.
That's a very good point, because even us today, when we look at Copilot and adoption, it's about what we believe in, and it's people first, right? And AI is a tool that's there for you as an assistant, right? It's not an autopilot, well, agentic is making it autopilot as well, but then Copilot is more of your assistant, just like how the name. So I think that is where you need that empathy, the emotions, right? And one more thing I want to add in, even for the partners, right? It's not about, it's not like how you went and sold technology before, like Azure or any other license, even M365 licenses, where you go and talk to the head of IT or the technical CIOs too. When you go and talk to about Copilot, I think the best people for you to go and talk is to the business users, to the HR,
Yes.
to the L&D, to the project managers, because these are the people who are on the ground.
Yeah.
And Copilot, I would say, for productivity or M365 or Copilot chat, it's been majorly it could be an amazing use case for these users as well. So you as a partner, Ahmad, how do you see Copilot as a service or the solution, and how do you take that message to your customers?
Right. So one thing, like Daphne mentioned, I would say is first knowing what is the product and how to use the product. If I go and sell this mic and I don't know what this mic does, I will not be able to sell it, because that's what I did. Like our distributor was pushing us to push Copilot to our customers. Okay, but I don't know how to use it or what is it exactly. So I first got a license for myself, experimented, played around, and then when I got the confidence, then I went to the market. So the first thing is definitely that you make sure that you know how to use it, and you get the value out of it, so that when you go to the customers, you have that confidence and in the product itself, and you have genuine use cases that you can show to the customer that this provided value for me in this way. It can provide you value in this way as well, and probably a few more things, right? So definitely, first thing is you should know how to use a product, and you should get the confidence in the product yourself, right? The second thing is, of course, from a general customer's perspective, is you should know how to prompt. That is something that even if the product is amazing, and if you want apples but you're asking for oranges, you will not get apples, right? So you need to know how to prompt as well. So like one thing that I always say, if nothing, what people will learn from AI is how to communicate well, because you need to know how to communicate well and in more detail for it to actually give you the result that you expect.
If you don't know to prompt, you ask the prompt to prompt the prompt for you.
Exactly. That's what I do all the time.
No, because you see, this is something really, right? When I got back into the IT training industry in 2020 after the break, I had a kind of a purpose towards it. Because when I joined, it was initial stage of the COVID, right? And people were working from home. And 99% of the customers who attended our training, I made cold calls. I've not even seen them, never met them. And one thing that I realized is nobody is asking questions during the training, and all these trainings were virtual. Sometimes you don't even know whether they're there or they're not there during the training. So the trainer is like speaking for 3 days, 5 days, and only a few people are talking. So I was thinking, okay, is it the language, or is it the fear, or is it the unknown that they do not have the confidence to talk right out, or they are ashamed to talk out, that they might make mistakes? And what if we are able? So at that time I was thinking, okay, should we run some soft skills training for them, something to get them up on their confidence, something that they can, because end of the day, giving them that training, skilling them up, where they are able to go and contribute in an organization, which will help them grow, which will help them grow in the organization, which will bring them better revenue, which they can give back to their family. This is where my cycle was on the why of why I've come back into this training and the purpose, right? And 1 year after that, probably in 2022 or something, ChatGPT was a huge thing. And then when I started using it, I was like, I think this is the solution for that problem that I had. Even if people are unable to go and talk to someone and ask someone because of they are being ashamed, today you can actually go and ask. There's nobody to look into you. You've got that personalization, right? And then it started building through the OpenAI, right? From there it started building, and then came Copilot. It's more personal, very personal. It's OpenAI within the organization, right? That's ChatGPT is OpenAI on a public, and this is OpenAI within the organization. It understands you. It has the work IQ. It's grounded with all your emails, the chats, the conversations, the people, the history of your chat, which makes it even more easier. So I think this people need to understand the power of Copilot. And I've also told you that I've got a trainer who's blind, and he uses Copilot to the T, like for whatever that is required by him. So today, when you're blind, you're just set aside, right? When you're disabled, you're just kept to a corner. But what we want to do is use him, train people like that, and bring them back into work. And this is the power of Copilot today. This is what it could do. So I think as partners, Ahmad, even you, I think this is what Microsoft is expecting from you as well as a partner, because there's a product team back at the end who are not front facing towards the customer, and they expect you as a partner to go talk to that customer, understand the feedback, bring it back to your either distributor or write it in your blog or wherever that we have a situation like this. How can you help? And I think that is where Daphne, your blogs have been a lot helpful, right? I mean, I've got so inspired. I would say solutions partner designation, no sooner it launched, I think you were one of the first who wrote about it. And looking at that, I created a landing page for the partners. So landing page in the sense the partner center has all of these details, but it didn't have kind of it wasn't simplified. So what we did was we put layman jargons, right? What people could really, and actual numbers there, right? You do this, the port, the seaport, to so many, what it really means. So that way it made it much more easier for people. And we actually had scenarios where Microsoft PDMs to partner managers were using our landing page in order to show it to the customers as well. So it's been a beautiful journey, I guess, along the way. And what can we expect more? How much more changes can we expect, Daphne, in this space?
It's going very fast, and it's impossible to keep up. So I think it's very important that partners like you, like Impact Era, you're really picky on what's relevant for who, and translating that into how to leverage it, all the change. I don't have a glass ball, but I feel the pace of innovation, of news coming is going so fast. And something we've been talking about before, and I think it's going to be a niche which will be very interesting. We talked about ethics in AI.
Yep.
I hear the slogan, AI without ethics is just dangerous. I agree with that, because we are asking, or customers are asking partners to build new systems, and partners are not used to talk about ethics. It's customer asks, can you build this? Yeah, sure, let's go. And now we have to talk about how is this going to impact people. And it can be beautiful, like you said. We can include now people who are blind, who have disabilities, or before it was unimaginable for somebody to work from home. Now somebody who is maybe not able to go places, they can also have a work life. So we can look at it from a really beautiful perspective, how we can include more people, how to make work more accessible, bring more equity in society, or build very dangerous systems. So this is what is coming for partners. Make a decision. Are you able to have this conversation? Are you willing to have this conversation? And create more awareness with the sales on how to shape this conversation, because usually partners are technically very savvy, but on the ethics side, this is a whole new thing to explore, and it's not easy. We are not philosophers and religious leaders that talk about ethics all the time. So how to bring this conversation in the AI conversation we have with customers is going to be very interesting.
Definitely another question that popped up in my mind, right? Especially for partners. How do you basically signal to a partner when they do adoption right? And how do you incentivize them? Or how does that message go on to the partner, where you as a Microsoft would want to invest more in such partners?
Okay, so first of all, before having a conversation with Microsoft as a partner, I would leverage the tools that Microsoft has offered you to understand the product utilization. So there's multiple tools. First of all, in Partner Center, you can find the button Insights. There you can see per product, per workload, what is the actual usage. You can see if there's a drop, if there's a decline, if it's going well. And then there's another tool that I really like. It's called a Lighthouse. There you can do tenant management, and there also you can see product utilization, any risks in the tenant. So when you have this under control and you see where there's gaps in utilization and you work on this, the customer utilization, it also contributes to the partner solution designation and even more to the specialization. And once you have the specialization, which you can now also get when you're only an adoption partner, so when you're not selling licenses. I know partners who have not sold a license ever and they have a specialization. Then you get access to a lot of partner programs and incentives. There's the incentives guidebook with a few hundreds of pages of programs, and you see more and more programs popping up that reward utilization of products. There is programs for Copilot, but also even for Azure utilization. So basically for every product, the utilization becomes more important, and you see the shift of incentives moving from the transaction to pre-sales, but with regards to the adoption to post-sales. And I personally expect this to continue. And Microsoft has defined 5 sales stages, whereas one is the transaction. And you see the margins are getting smaller and smaller. And at some point, I think now already it's becoming difficult to earn enough just from the incentive on the transaction. You really should focus to continue to be profitable on the post-sales.
Yeah, I think use it as a foundation laid, and then you start building the Lego blocks, right? Yes. Is that what you do as a partner?
Yeah, absolutely. Like one thing, like the partner of record thing, I was not aware, because we were developing solutions on Power Platform. We were deploying But since we were not giving licenses, well, it would not show up anywhere. Like I learned it the hard way and much later on in the say, so that you can actually do that. And definitely licenses are more of, it cannot run the business really, like just based on the licenses. It acts as a foot in the door where, okay, now you enter and you gain the customer's trust. Okay, now from that point of onwards, then you can talk solutions. That, okay, what are the challenges that you're facing? What kind of automations that we can develop for you? Or maybe then now Copilot agents and stuff. So that's when you can actually start talking solutions, because now that you are there. So definitely licenses are more of a foot in the door, and then you start talking solutions, and that's how you start building up into more profitability.
Coming to something that's very much trending today, right? Agents and agentic AI. Are we matured enough to actually get into that conversation? Are organizations matured enough? I mean, let's talk the hard truth, right? These are amazing tools. We've seen it really changing the world. But then again, coming back into ethics, people first, humanity, are we able to accept it, adapt it, mental well-being? I think there's a lot. It's like a mixed fruit. Daphne, are we ready for it? Where are we on this stand at the moment?
Personally, I've been ready for a while. I built my own agent a few years ago for social media. So I asked Copilot to analyze my voice, my tone, my style. I combined that with the information on how to build a good LinkedIn post. And now I just have to put in any information, like 3 sentences. I want to make a post on this and this. Here's a link, and there comes the post. So there's not very much ethics involved in this, because I'm still the human that is checking the post before I post it. So this has a lot of impact on how I spend my time. Before this, I used to be every weekend for hours writing LinkedIn posts just because I want to create a good feed for my partners. Now I can do it 1 hour a month. I can create all the posts that I want for the full month. So for really small, simplistic, repeatable actions, I think an agent, the time is there, especially for things like creating LinkedIn posts or simple stuff that you do every so many days or so, maybe even every day. But like Ahmed said, there's still a lot of confusion on the difference between automation and agentic AI. So I think there's still a lot of education that needs to be done within the partners. And partners have to also find a new way to have a conversation with customers, because they have to go into the customer processes and really understand what's going on in the customer. So just selling agents, I don't think it's going to work. You have to really understand what's going on, how to position it, if there is a need to talk about ethics, what will be the impact on humanity, on human behavior. And I think let's start experimenting with small things that can have an impact on something simple as time, like I have with my LinkedIn posts. And for the more complicated or more risky, let's get stakeholders involved, do workshops together, talk about it. And this is also very much fun. If you bring a group of customers that are in the same industry and talk about how they perceive this, you will have really great conversations, and we will learn a lot. So I think it's time to start the conversations and start small with agents.
Ahmed?
Yeah, definitely. it has to start from something simple, because a lot of times, like a lot of the directors and CEOs, they get excited by seeing this level of automation, but they don't know like there's this much to cover before you get onto this level, right? It's like that has to be an iterative process and more of a stepping stone.
Awareness, discovery,
Yes, you
workshops
cannot
and
just
so on.
reach to the autonomous level. Of course, there's in that spectrum you have the retrieval agents, then more of action-based agents, and there's autonomous agents. So you cannot just bypass everything and directly go here, because of course at the end it's AI. What AI works on is data, and if data is not correct, then you can try everything, but it won't give you the results that you need, right? So definitely, and it's a journey. It's a long journey. It's not a short one for sure. And we have to take those steps, correct our data, organize it, structure it. The security part and of course ethics as well plays a crucial role, because let's say with Copilot, if a lot of people have access to something sensitive, it will expose that data, right? So you need to make sure that your security posture is correct. Exactly. So definitely it's a journey. The technology is getting matured. We are mature or not? I would say we're still not there yet 100%. So of course it's still a journey.
The technology will be smarter than us in the coming years.
As of now, yes.
Huh?
but definitely
That's what Elon Musk is saying as well, right?
Yeah.
He's building so many robots, which he's saying is it might be equivalent to the number of people that is going to exist. So he's building robots to build robots today.
But I do the same. I build prompts by prompts. Yeah. Build the perfect prompt for this and this task. And
I mean, if you know how to use it right, and know why you would need it.
Yeah.
Now, for example, for a day, I, as an individual, from morning to night, I have so many tasks happening. There's so much that I've got to either keep it on my mind, on my to-do list, on my planner, on my checklist, on my calendar. So, since it's grounded there, most of this information, if it can understand my way of working, building a digital twin on my behalf for separate tasks that can be automated, and certain tasks where they come to me and say, is this okay to send? Or can you confirm this to be sent out? I think that is where the agentic works perfectly, right? And that is where we are getting into. And this is something that the partners need to know how to communicate to their customers, which is not happening. Right, because during my visit to Ignite last year or the year before, I saw a lot of product managers at Microsoft building amazing product, talking about everything. And the question that I had a conversation with some of these product managers, I said, you guys are building some amazing product, but how does what you build go to the customers? Does your partners know what you're building? Do they know the use cases of these products? Does your customers know about it? Right? How do we make it done? So, I mean, that is why Microsoft's business is a partner ecosystem business. But then it's about the partner's role in this place. So whether it's, if you're looking at SMB or today even SMC, customers are basically, or you got CSP deals even for enterprise customers today, because there's no EAs. So everybody is involved with everyone. The distributors are involved in everyone. So the distributors see good enterprise level solutions happening. They also see SMB level solutions happening. And scaling those for the SMB customers, maybe you don't go as much scaled as an enterprise, but certain of those solutions can be used on the mid-market or the SMB or SMC level as well. So do we have kind of a community of partners who talk about these kind of use cases that could be really relevant in today, peer-to-peer kind of? Is there something of that sort? Or every partner is on their own still, There's no competition, rather competition.
I think we have MVPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see partners, partner communities. So in the Netherlands, we have a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So partners just buy each other to get the knowledge in-house. Personally, not too sure about this strategy. Of course, you build huge companies. But I like the model of MVPs, like you are sharing knowledge. I think we also have experts, live communities. Personally, unfortunately, I'm not too involved. I'm already every day in the partner business, so to invest even more. But maybe Ahmed, I think you have much more experience.
So definitely MVP communities is definitely one of the biggest and supported by Microsoft as well. So but it's more of as an individual, you share knowledge with the community and fellow, you would say, developers and individuals. But from the partner level, there is something I remember I came across. I don't remember the exact name because there's a team in South Africa from Microsoft who handles this, and they are working with another third party who is running this community of partners. I cannot recall their name at this moment, but there is something that is coming up, and where partners collaborate as well. So that's
what we could do is we could actually be initiating this, right? We can be initiating, bringing in the partners, actually give these partners a slot to come and converse. So it could be kind of a weekly. So we've got these hooked on Thursday sessions. Then on Tuesdays we've got the educator sessions, which is more focused on how to use AI in education, the compliance, the ethics, the biasness, the responsible AI, and so on and so forth. And now, I mean, education is also a major space that Microsoft is investing quite a lot with Copilot Teach, right, agent, which is amazing to build lesson curriculums where teachers spend weeks doing so. You can actually do within minutes today. But so it's all about adaptation also today, right? You need two hands to clap. So just as much how partners are trying to invest and do, today I think customers also need to start doing their own research and understanding what can I do as an organization to be in business. Otherwise my competition is going to be having things. They'll probably manufacture 100,000 units while you still manufacture 20,000 units, right? So there's ways and means that's happening out there.
And if I may add to that, I remember, I'm not sure if it's also in the book Hit Refresh by Satya Nadella, but Satya said that at some point every company is going to be a tech company. So partners also see that their customers are becoming more tech savvy, like you said. And even some customers are becoming partners. So you see very specialized customers that have built their own SaaS solution. Now with the Microsoft Marketplace, they can also start selling it even to their own competition as a product. So this is also something new that I see happening more and more, and I expect to see happening more, because a lot of the partners still are very generic, selling a modern workplace solution, while the value is more with really a niche and knowing everything about this niche and how to innovate within this niche. So that's also interesting development, and to initiate a community just to offer partners and even customers with these SaaS solutions to have a space to do a pitch can be very valuable, because a lot of these modern work partners, they are still making enough money, but at some point they will have to adjust to their specific customer needs, because a generic modern workplace is not, it will not keep the money coming in. It's too generic.
Marketplace, let's talk about the marketplace today. What's the kind of percentage, or if you take 10 partners, How many partners would be having solutions in a marketplace today?
It's a complicated question because, for example, in the Netherlands, I think we have around 9,000 partners.
Okay. 9,000 partners.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And
then,
how many of them are in the marketplace?
so I think, I'm not really sure, but
Few
I think
hundreds?
if we have 150 partners with a solution designation, then I think if we have 50 with a marketplace solution, it's a proximity. I don't know.
The reason
Yeah.
why I asked was it's not yet out there.
No.
People are
Yeah.
not taking advantage out of it. Whereas there's so much of money that you can actually make with marketplace.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So what are the ways to make money with marketplace, Daphne? I'm sure this will be a really helpful question for the partners who
Yeah.
are listening in.
So there's multiple ways to make money with the marketplace. So if I would be a partner, the first thing I would do is make sure that I have a business profile and I will become visible in the marketplace. Because as long as you don't have a business profile, you will not be able to share leads with the Microsoft account team.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are really new to this and you want to get started, I would propose just to put in a consulting service for free in the marketplace, because then also the Microsoft account team can say to a customer, why don't you just talk to this partner just for an hour for free? Maybe a great lead will come out of this.
Yeah.
So, and also what I would do is every time I'm on working on a strategic project and a strategic lead, even if you are, for example, already servicing a customer with a modern workplace and you're going to sell a new workload like Azure or Copilot, this is already worth putting in a lead in the system with your solution that's in the marketplace. So make it as small as possible. So at least you have access to sharing leads in the marketplace and the marketplace, to get in touch with the account team. Because if your competition does this and you do not, the account team is making a account plan for the next 3 years and your competition is in it and you're not, that's going to be a problem. So for accelerating your own leads and deals and alignment with the Microsoft account team, which I'm confident will bring you more profit than if you wouldn't, because the account team is not scared to talk about even other solutions that could be taken in consideration and grow the opportunity with. So that could really help. But then there's also other ways to make money with the marketplace. So for example, I met an ISV in the Netherlands. They have a Dynamics solution, and they built forms for particular niche businesses, and they put these forms in the marketplace, and they're really cheap. They're like €1 for some forms, so others are €2, 3. And they start selling this all over the world because, for example, one form was for transporting dangerous liquids. Well, these dangerous liquids are transported all over the world. Why should every customer talk to their customer to make a specific form for this while it's already created by a little partner in the Netherlands? So even if you have something like a template which you think is really insignificant, it can already create sales. And this is maybe just a transaction of a template of a few euros, but it also puts you in a position to be recognized that you are the one who built this, you have the expertise, and maybe great projects can come out of this. Then the last one, because I have way more ideas on how to make money with the marketplace. Some of the enterprise customers, they have what Microsoft calls MAC agreements. So this is basically Azure commit to consume. So for example, a customer buys 10 million of Azure credits that needs to be spent in the next 1 or 2 or so much time. And once they've bought this, they buy it because they get a discount because they buy credits in bulk. But they can also buy marketplace solutions with these Azure credits. So if you have a solution that is built on Azure and you have it in the marketplace and the customer has already spent so many million on Azure credits, it's for you a really easy sell to sell your product, and the Azure credits get deducted, so the customer doesn't even have to pull their wallet to buy your product.
Wow.
And the Microsoft account team is happy because they want the customer to spend all the credits, because otherwise they have sold something and it's not finished. The customer feels they've paid too much.
They spend it also, basically the partner's solution is being purchased by Azure credits? Is it like a voucher kind of thing? So how does the partner get paid?
Through the marketplace.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know too much details because I'm in the SMB space.
Okay.
But I
there is a
know
way.
I know ISVs who have won really big deals with this.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting, because there's so much of solutions out there, and I mean, even those simple certain templates that just lies where you do it for one of your, which makes your life easier, could be one of your solutions that you can sell.
Yes.
Template as a service.
Yes.
That's something that we actually did recently. Again, it's more of a free solution that is available on marketplace now for us. So something as simple as you get documents in your emails, right? Now Outlook by default has a save to OneDrive option.
Yeah.
But it always goes to that one specific folder called attachments, right? But what if I want to organize it right from my email itself? I want to put these two attachments in this folder and these two attachments in another folder.
Yeah.
How do I do that? Oh no, I go to save to OneDrive and then go to OneDrive and then I
Drag
move
and
it
drop
somewhere. I don't want to do that. We need something right within the email itself. So that's something that we built recently, and we are in the process of publishing it. So that's exactly what we did. I was like, okay, this is a problem that I'm facing. I receive a lot of invoices. I want to organize that in my SharePoint or OneDrive. Now, this is something I'm facing, but others are facing this too. Everyone in HR or finance, they receive a lot of documents on email. They want to organize it right from there. So that's where the motivation came from, and that's how we solve the problem for ourselves and potentially for others as well. And when you publish to the marketplace, like Daphne mentioned, the visibility aspect, I think that's one of the biggest. If nothing, you get the visibility first. And once you're there, if someone is actually searching for Power Platform partners in the UAE, okay, that's
another question that I actually had, right? How is the visibility? Like, how does it work? Where does it come from? I mean, who promotes it? Is it like, how do customers find you in the Microsoft Marketplace?
So in the app source itself, you can search for products or you can search for partners as well. So you can search for partners by the country or region or even the city as well. So let's say if I say in Dubai, and on our partner profile, we have mentioned Dubai, and we can define all the products or services that we offer, like from Microsoft, like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Dynamics 365. Then if someone searches for that on the marketplace, our name will...
So the keywords, the hashtag kind of thing. So it's a SEO inside the app source.
You can say something of that sort, yeah. Daphne?
Yeah. So that's on the external side. Yeah. I think it's also very important to be visible towards Microsoft and the Microsoft sales teams.
Yeah.
And the business profile that you create to be visible on App Source or Marketplace, it's the same profile that the Microsoft sellers see. So when they're working on a lead and they have to find a partner, the backend of the App Source or Marketplace is the same as what the Microsoft sales see. So if you're not there, you're invisible towards Microsoft.
Okay.
Other than, so by having your solution in place, keep it updated. I think there's also a lot of visibility to be done on the external side for partners by leveraging their co-op funds.
Right.
I still see a lot of partners not using it, and after 6 months it's just gone, a waste of money basically.
Co-op funds.
Yes. For marketing, training.
For whom this is given to?
For the partners.
Who has posted solutions on the app source?
No. So you have this is the
Managed partners, right? Mostly.
On the incentive part. So partners get partly paid with rebate and partly with co-op, and the co-op you have to spend it within 6 months being earned. If they don't use it, it's gone. So I suggest partners to really leverage their co-op for visibility, promote their solution, and if they don't know how, because I know most partners don't have a marketing department, maybe they can talk to you, or there's other marketing agencies that can help.
No, I mean, that is something that we work with, right? We work with the distributors, the partners, in order to create that awareness sessions, the pre-sale sessions, the post-sales, the sales enablement, the solution plays, right? In order to make it's end of the day, I think that is where those fundings are being utilized. And coming up with something crazy, some crazy idea, to keep that message in a person's mind today. And I think one, last bit of question that I would like to ask as well. What's one, definitely from you, what's one uncomfortable truth that you would like to bring it forth to the partners in 2026, without which it will be difficult for them to survive moving forward as a Microsoft partner?
Yeah, I would say Microsoft even has a hashtag for this. Skilling is billing. You need to skill. You need to keep up to date with all the developments. Choose your niche, go for that, and skill to win.
That's the one, yeah. And to you, Ahmad, what is it that the partners and the customers, right? How can they play hand in hand in order to make this relationship that will have a lifetime value, which will also bring a monthly recurring revenue for you, while have the customer being happy?
Definitely, I think that's a tricky one for sure. Because striking that balance is usually very tricky. But one thing that I would say is you need to really, really be in sync with the customer. Talk to them, try understand and try to be in their shoes. Because a lot of times partners make one mistake that there's a bias or assumptions that happen. Okay, this is what the challenge the customer is facing, and a lot of times it becomes a disastrous as well. That customer actually did not want this; they wanted something really different. Yeah. But you build the solution. So being in sync with the customer is something that builds credibility and trust as well, and that goes a long way. And how you can make a monthly revenue out of it, that's a very tricky one again. Licenses is for sure, but again, when you try to do consulting for them for a longer term, that's something that can definitely do. And of course, skilling up, any organization requires it. So like that Impact Era, like you're doing it. Any organization would, and especially with the advent of Copilot and AI, they definitely need that. So they need from basic AI training to specialized Copilot agent development, or AI solutions, building AI solutions on Azure. Mm-hmm. So those skilling initiatives can also bring in more additional or recurring revenue as well.
Perfect. I think that was a very insightful session, and I believe this is what's needed, right? We need to look at it from Microsoft's point of view, and then from the partner's point of view, and then the customer's point of view. And that's where we want to play that particular role in how to bridge the gap between the vendor, being Microsoft, and the partner and the customer. Because end of the day, whatever solution is being provided based on what the problem is, the solution that is provided that can create an impact, right? Because that is where you can look at a lifetime value or a monthly recurring revenue to be very justifiable for the customers as well. And moving forward, another thing that the partners need to understand is to be updated, right? They need to be relevant. They need to be inquisitive. They need to be curious on what's out there, because there's a lot of changes. Because we are playing with fire today, right? With all the technologies and everything, less is bad, right? We need to have that particular knowledge, because especially identifying, looking into all and not everyone can do everything. So that is where I think today it's come to a time where larger organizations, we're looking at mergers and acquisitions and collaborations. The reason being, they've identified that they are unable to do everything, and by that partnership or collaboration, you are able to do more for a customer. And why not on the lower scale with the partners? Why not on the mid scale with the partners? This is a food for thought for all of us to understand how we could be partners of competition rather than competition, and identify what our specialization is, which will give the best towards the customer. So thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Ahmad. And until we meet up next, thank you very much.